Hello, everyone. Okay, so welcome to a brand new week where we get brand new information on what's potentially around the corner for us or happening in our reality right now. I'm here to give you you reading for the week ahead. Okay, here we go. All right, so I've decided today to use the Healing with the Angels Oracle deck. Like I say, every time, whether you are a believer of angels or not, is not really the biggest thing here. The important thing is that there are going to be messages coming through that are of a very core nature that we need to be taking advantage of and listening to. So whether I used Healing with the Angels or I used the um, Ascended Masters deck or I used a deck with unicorns or piglets, it really doesn't matter. There's a fundamental message that's going to come through. And that's what's most important for us to know. And when we are listening to things like, Archangel Raphael is coming into your life, you need to be aware of the fact that I will draw to your attention what the representation of that is, what that archetype is. For instance, with Raphael, it would be an archetype of healing. And today we're working with Healing with the Angels Oracle. So, like I said, you don't have to believe in angels, you don't have to be religious necessarily to get the messages that are there. Just listen to the very basic fundamental message that's coming through. All right. So, if I say, for instance, your prayers are being answered, it's like your intentions that you've set are going to be successful. All right? So, it's easy to just appropriate it to your belief system, whatever you are comfortable with, and that is most important when we're doing a reading like this. So, let's see. I feel like we need one more shuffle. Oh, it wasn't a very good one. Okay, so I always ask what is most important for us to know about the week ahead, what energies are around us, what advice do we need, and we just see what comes up. All right, we're asking our guides and our guardians, our angels, our ancestors, the universe, again, whatever your belief system is, you tap into that and you ask for that guidance to come through for you. So let's see what pops up. All right, what do we need to know most importantly this week, please? This one wanted to come up. It popped out and then popped back into my hand. Signs. All right. I think everybody has some kind of an idea of synchronistic numbers and signs and synchronicities. It really is something that is very prominent and out there in our new day and age where we've got synchronistic numbers, synchronistic signs. Some people have certain animals that come through to them, which will symbolize certain things. I do believe that if we see a certain plant or an animal or a particular sign or a number repetitively, there is some message and meaning to it. All right, it's not something to be ignored. Even if you do, for instance, see a lot of numbers, you don't have to be looking up what they are every 5 seconds, but notice that you're seeing synchronistic numbers all the time. This is not a coincidence or an accident, all right? It's something to draw your attention that something is going to occur, something is coming, and it's 99% of the time something very positive for you. If it is certain specific numbers, then sometimes we are asked to caution ourselves a little bit. So, for instance, if we see the number one, we will know that we're about to begin something or something's in its beginning stages or about to take off. If we see a lot of number threes, sometimes it shows that there is something that involves more than three people, and it's showing that there are delays and postponements, but it's going to be successful at the end. When we see number six, it's saying adjust your thoughts and attitudes to certain things, and it does show difficulties, but it's basically going to present those difficulties to teach us how to overcome and transcend them. So that's very important as well. This is saying you will see signs and synchronicities. They can come in your dreams. It can be about loved ones that are coming through in your dreams. It can be a certain animal you keep reading about. If you have got a certain animal that pops up all the time, I do believe in animal symbolism. All right, it doesn't necessarily have to be your spirit animal, and that's the only animal that you ever see. I believe that with our guides and guardians, yes, we do have specific ones that attend to us and are with us all the time, but you will have others that are going to help you at certain times in your life that will come and go. And you also have certain animals that are presented to you, or numbers, or flowers, whatever they are, that are presented to you, and you see them repetitively, and they are there to give you a specific message about yourself. It's not necessarily that that animal is your spirit animal that's going to follow you around for the rest of your life, or that specific guide is going to be there forever. That guide might be there temporarily to teach you the skill you're busy learning, that they can help you and guide you or get you through a specifically tough time because they have the knowledge for that specifically tough task. All right, so they don't all stay with us all the time. They do come and go, and some of them are literally just messengers. If you see a blue jay over and over and over, it's probably that there's some kind of symbolism, something you need to know. Sometimes we do have family members that try and communicate with us like this to show us something over and over or to draw our attention to something. You could find an injured bird and follow it to prevent yourself from being in some kind of a mishap. Okay, so for instance, you see this injured bird, you chase it and you follow it, and you realize that if you hadn't turned to the left and followed this bird, you would have crossed the road and, had a mishap of some sort. Sometimes those things are there at exactly the right time for a very specific reason. All right, look for signs and synchronicities, be a bit more tuned into them because they're there to make your life a bit easier. They're there to make the task easier, to lead you on the right path. They're like little breadcrumbs for us when we are walking the path of life. All right, so try to heed those warnings and the information coming through. I've got a wonderful link for animal representation that I've found to be very reputable over the years, so I will leave a link of that in the description below as well. It's called Star Stuffs. Okay, so let's see what Signs says here for us. It says, pay careful attention to the messages that the angels give you now. You have asked for a sign and they deliver it. Notice and trust these signs. Okay. There's a very good chance that you are getting signs all the time. If you are, please don't dismiss them and ignore them. They are shouting to you to say, please, I'm trying to show you something here. All right. What else do we need to know this week, please? Oh, the romance card came up the last time we did this deck of cards as well. And children. Very interesting. Okay, so there's very likely some stuff going on around family, around children that you're dealing with right now. Maybe you're having some difficulty with your children. You're having a little bit of a tough time. But the romance card comes up quite nicely in terms of romantic relationships or renewing the essence of a romantic relationship. If you are, maybe it doesn't even have to be romantic, but maybe you're in a relationship with someone where you usually have really good rapport with them and something hasn't been right. This is about the healing and the rekindling of that relationship. I feel like you could also have signs and synchronicities either of this coming, or there's going to be certain things that will show you the way in terms of how to handle a situation with your loved ones, all right? Whether they're children, whether it's your romantic partner, a husband, wife, whatever the case is. But I feel like we also need to remember when we see the signs of children around us that they are different to us, they are their own individual little beings, and that they can teach us so much. And most of all, they teach us how simple life is and how we tend to overcomplicate things. Okay, they see life in a very simple way. They remind us to play and relax, and that there's more to life than all these stresses and difficulties we have and all these duties that we have. So it's important to take note of that and tap into that. And maybe those are the signs and synchronicities you've been given to say, hey, pay attention to the children around you because they're reminding you how to actually live, not just exist. Let's see what these cards say in the book quick, if there's anything else. Children. You are asked to pay special attention to your children or your inner child right now. New children may be coming into your life very soon. This card signals that the angels see your need to play, have fun, and honor your inner child. Perhaps you will play with your own children or grandchildren, or you might enjoy having fun with another adult or doing work that involves helping children. Take some time to ask your inner child, how do you feel? And what would you like to do? Plan an afternoon where you take your inner child out on an outing, doing things that allow your playful side to emerge. Swing and slide at the park. Take an afternoon nap. Draw on the sidewalk with chalk or build a sandcastle. Okay. Some of us really just need to do those things, like literally, to remind ourselves to just slow down and not take life so seriously. Romance. The angels are addressing and assisting you with your romantic needs. Ask for and accept their help with your love life. This card signifies that your angels have heard your appeals for romance. They acknowledge your heart's yearnings for love. They have received and answered your requests. Now you will work in consort with the angels to manifest the romance you're seeking. The angels will guide you in specific ways. Guide you in specific ways. Watch for the signs, please. Okay. To ensure that they grant your wish. For instance, you may get a strong urge to drive to a certain place, and you might meet a wonderful partner when you arrive at this destination. The angel's guidance may ask you to engage in self improvement activities, such as exercise classes, nutritional practices, or self help seminars. Follow this guidance, and you will discover the romance that you are seeking. I always say to my clients, you have to be the partner you want to attract. All right, we can't be a dumbass and a terrible person and expect this wonderful person to walk into our lives. And if that wonderful person does happen to walk into our lives and we are of that low vibration demeanor, we're not going to have that person around for long. All right, unless they actually are so passive that they are happy to fit into that scenario, and then we're really not being high vibration. And I don't believe anybody who's watching this really is that kind of person. All right, but we need to be the partners that we wish to attract. That's vitally important. Be the person you want to date. And I don't mean that in the way that it sounds directly, but I'm sure you know what I mean. If you want a healthy partner that looks after themselves, be a healthy partner that looks after themselves. If you want somebody who is gentle and kind, be gentle and kind. We match the energy that we are giving off. If you want someone who's loving and tender, you can't be an ice block that never shows any affection. You can't just have somebody loving and nurturing and pampering you and worrying about you all day and you are just emotionally unavailable. You can't be doing that. All right, so don't expect that of anybody else. You need to vibrationally match the person that you want to attract into your life. Otherwise, there's not going to be harmony. There's not going to be happiness. It needs to be that give and take, and that spiritual as well as physical match. Okay, so lecture over. It's not easy, and none of us are perfect. Divine timing. There's something definitely coming up for certain people who have probably been waiting for something to happen for a long time, and they've been waiting for this divine timing. And sometimes when we hear divine timing, we really just want to climb the walls. We really just don't want to hear about it. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to not forget to show you the cards. These really are beautiful, some of them. Divine timing has become the bane of some people's existence, and to hear the words divine timing really just drive us mad, and we feel like we're going to eye roll ourselves into another dimension if we have to hear wait for divine timing one more time. And don't think that people who do work like I do don't get those kind of messages and don't feel that kind of frustration. It definitely is something that everybody struggles with, because we are in this rat race kind of mindset. We want things to happen and we want them now. We don't like waiting for things. We don't understand why we should, until we've actually been forced to wait, and we think to ourselves, you know what, if this had happened 6 months ago, this wouldn't have happened, and that wouldn't have happened, or I wouldn't have had this. You know, anything can happen. You can be waiting for something wonderful to occur, but you are trying to save up for it and you're struggling, and the next thing you know, you get some kind of a check or money that's been owed to you, or an investment pays out, and then this occurs, so that you have more than enough money to do it. All right, there's always a reason and a season to everything, and that is something we struggle with so much. And I struggle to say it because I feel like I really just sound like a cliche and a broken, a broken gramophone that's just playing the same thing over and over and over. But this is vitally important that we are aware of this and that we honor this, and it's difficult. So try to remember that everybody struggles with this. All right, but this is showing that there's something that's going to either occur in divine timing for you or that this is coming up. All right, and I think you're going to see the signs of it. I'm more inclined to say this is coming up. I feel like this is for people who've been waiting for something. All right, and if it doesn't happen right now, it's going to be happening very soon. So I really believe that this is saying this is like around the corner. This is making me feel that this is very soon. Let me just pick one more card and see what comes up. I think this is almost it. What else do you need to know here, please? Thank you. Emerging. Okay, yes. This has got to do with coming into your own in a particular situation or something that you've been waiting for. And I think we need to kind of lighten our energy when it comes to the situation. We can't be all doom and gloom. We need to have this reminder of lifting our energy, being a bit more playful, not taking things so seriously. And taking this a bit more lightly, not saying, oh, this divine timing's never coming, maybe changing our mindset or the way that we put things out there and say, thank you so much that this is happening right now. This is about literally emerging, coming into your own, that you're only at the beginning stages of a truer version of yourself or getting to a place where you are really going to be happy and satisfied. It's something that you've waited for. It's a new state of being, a new level of consciousness, a new experience, maybe a new place that you're moving to or a new job that you're going into. So I feel like this is something someone's been waiting for. And this is saying things are starting to happen. Notice the signs and synchronicities that you've maybe been waiting or looking for, and you feel like, if I have to look for any more signs, I'm going to be exhausted and I'm not seeing them. I feel like you're going to really start seeing them, or you have begun to see them. And whatever you've been waiting for is around the corner, whether that is with to do with children or romance or both here. All right. Or if it's something else that's not as personal in terms of family and having kids and things like this, I feel like it could be a job, it could be a trip, it could be anything that you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for that's become so arduous and tedious. And now the time is coming nearer. And you can start seeing the reality and the potential for it because you're going to be getting signs and synchronicities. All right, let's read emerging. Your true self, radiant, powerful, successful, and intelligent, is now shining through the surface. Allow your true self to be visible to others, for you lift them up and inspire them. You are awesome in so many ways, and you are beginning to trust and reveal your true nature more easily. At one time, you may have believed that you had to hide your feelings from others, or even from yourself. Now, however, you realize how vital and attractive expressing your authentic self is. Your angels are guiding you to honor your true feelings by expressing them to yourself and to others. The angels will help you lovingly talk about your feelings so that no misunderstandings occur with friends and loved ones. Your angels will never guide you to do or say anything that could hurt you or anyone else. They will also ensure that your life will emerge to a new level of inner peace as you let your true self come out and play. How appropriate, your true self come out and play. Remember to play. Remember to be more authentically yourself. Ask yourself what you love and what you want to do. All right, and hopefully this will also help you with moving into this new phase of your life. I feel like we really do have to remember, and I can't stress it enough, that we have to be working in consort with the angels, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You're going to get signs and synchronicities, but are you going to take notice of them? They're saying to you, you need to be more playful. You need to be in that playful, less stressed, high vibration kind of mindset and energy in order to see the signs and synchronicities, in order to pay attention to them, in order for them to draw your attention because you're not completely absorbed in other mundane things. All right, we always have to be doing our part. And even if your part is being more conscious of potential signs around you, being more conscious of being a bit more playful and a bit less serious and stuck up and, highly strung about stuff. Let's try and say, okay, whatever, just for a day or two, try and change your energy, because if you're changing your energy, you're going to be more in alignment with the signs that you're looking for. You're not going to be in the mindset of, oh, I'm driving in the traffic and I can't find a parking and I'm not seeing any of the signs that I wanted to see and nothing's happening for me. You cannot be in that urgent energy if you want to be receptive to the spiritual signs that are there for you. All right, you've got to be a vibrational match for that too, to the best of your ability at least. We don't always have to be high vibe and happiness and nothing's ever wrong in our lives. Life is not like that, but we do need to be open and relax our energy to an extent where we can actually just be able to receive some kind of information, some kind of signs. And when we see something like this, be willing to say, okay, here's potential here, and I should be a little bit more aware and cognizant of this week. That's all that it takes, and a lot of the time, Spirit will do the rest. Okay, I wish you a beautiful week. This looks really exciting for a lot of you, and I sincerely hope that you see the signs and synchronicities that you want and need. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.